The city of San Antonio could not only eliminate pandemic budget cuts next year, it could actually start adding funding to some areas. City staff presented a trial budget to council members today, which kicks off the annual budgeting process. Our Garrett Berger is live at City Hall to walk us through this. So Garrett, okay, it is a trial budget, but how firm is everything in this at this point?
Well, Myra, city staff tried to make clear that this is not the budget itself. To use the words of the city manager, it's the framing of the house, basically a starting point for this budget process so they know kind of where to begin. But the frame of this budget is expected to be bigger than it was expected before. Now, the city has seen record high sales tax collections in the past 2 months, and hotel occupancy tax fund revenues have been better than expected, too. Between that, better looking revenue projections and money from the American Rescue Plan Act that the city can use to make up for lost revenue, city staff say they can restore $37 million in planned cuts for next year. That would include bringing street maintenance funding back to the pre-pandemic levels, taking employee furlough days off the table, and partially repealing the city's civilian hiring freeze. There's enough to give civilian employees a pay increase, too, and arts funding could be restored to 2019 levels as well. Now, the trial budget also includes putting an additional $30 million towards other areas like housing and homeless programs, emergency response, and pedestrian safety, as well as the 311 call center, amongst others.
Last year, we did a trial budget largely to talk about how the reductions were going to look like. This year, it's the flip of that, where now we're talking about what type of investments we can make based on the council priorities. So we still have a lot of building to go, to use the analogy, but it's a different scenario, and it's in many respects, well, in all respects, really a better scenario.
The city has hundreds of millions of dollars more to spend in funds from ARPA over the next 5.5 years, but staff say that will happen later as the council decides how it wants to put that money to use. Now, council members had a variety of thoughts on this budget presentation as well, but they're really not going to get into their thoughts on how the budget should be structured until next week when they have a goal-setting session. Then we'll expect to see a fully fleshed out budget proposal in August. Live at City Hall, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.